Hi guys, it's Bretta here from Forefoot.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you about whether or not you should be running on a treadmill when you are learning forefoot running. In my opinion, I feel that learning forefoot running is not the greatest idea when you're running on a treadmill. For me, I always feel a little unstable when I'm running on a treadmill as compared with running outside, and this is why I actually much prefer running outside. And for me, treadmill running was the first to go when I began learning forefoot running because it just made sense for me to run on a more stable surface. And in my opinion, it just makes more sense to learn a new running condition on a more stable surface like running outside as compared with running on a moving belt like a treadmill. So in my opinion, you are just better off learning forefoot running over ground, and the research is in agreement with this too. Early research shows that there are biomechanical differences between running on a treadmill and running over ground. And these differences, particularly those pertaining to running on a treadmill, have injury implications and negative effects on performance as well. If you look at the literature, it's well documented that running on a treadmill changes many biomechanical parameters, such as changes in stride frequency, contact time duration, which is the length of the time the feet spend on the ground during the stance phase of running, as well as ankle, knee, and hip kinematics, muscular activity, energy expenditure, shock attenuation, and plantar pressure of the foot. All of these may differ substantially between running on a treadmill and running outside. But why do these biomechanical changes occur when you're running on a treadmill versus when you're running outside? In my opinion, it comes down to the fact that the treadmill is an unnatural entity for human running. And in addition to altering biomechanics, the treadmill changes shock distribution in the foot. And this is because the runner is trying to reach a stable, safe running pattern on the treadmill. And also balance impairments may arise as the speed of the moving belt on the treadmill increases. But these force pressure changes in the foot are not as apparent when you're running outside, and this is because the ground is not moving. Another problem with treadmill running is that it increases contact time of the foot when you start to feel fatigue when you're running. And one study investigated the effects of treadmill running on plantar pressure, which is pressure over the foot, in fatigue runners. And the study found that ground contact time was longer on the treadmill than it was when the runners ran over ground. In general, biomechanics become altered when a runner becomes fatigued, and high fatigue correlates to longer ground contact time and a low stride frequency. So when your legs are tired when you're running, they feel heavier to pick up. So they're going to spend more time on the ground, and the longer the feet spend more time on the ground, this increases the exposure to more shock. They potentially penetrate through the body if you're a heel strike runner. To make running more safe, the feet need to spend more time in the air. You want to have a more increased flight phase, which is seen in most forefoot runners. And overall, when you have an increased flight time, this will lessen impact as well as the likelihood of some injuries, as well as the likelihood of some bone injuries. Another reason why I would not recommend running on a treadmill when you're learning forefoot running is that East African runners, most of them, from what I know, they don't run on treadmills. They don't train on treadmills. They train outside, and they do the majority of their training on the track or in wooded areas where the terrain is very uneven, which gives you overall better ankle strength. So in my opinion, I'd rather train the way they do, since the majority of East African runners are the best runners in the world. Overall, little research has been done on the influence of treadmill running on the prevention of injury in runners. And in my opinion, there's something about treadmill running that seems unnatural, and it would not surprise me if treadmill running contributes to injury to some degree or another. So this is just my thoughts on treadmill running. If it works for you, then that's good, but I personally believe that if you're learning a new running condition, it's best to do so when the surface is a lot more stable. And with my experience, I haven't had much luck with treadmill running, and that's why I prefer to do most of my training outside. So that's something to consider. Thank you for watching and listening. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for more information on forefoot running versus heel strike running, as well as barefoot running, feel free to head on over to my blog at runforefoot.com. Have a good run. Bye.